The question of whether the delegation of the United States reps that came to Abuja, led by Rep. Bill Huizenga, official delegation, will be put to rest in the next 48 hours. Before, if Americans delegation are coming to Nigeria, Appropriation Committee is an official United States department. They will post it, they will tweet it that look at, they had a meeting and people are going to Nigeria. And they used to come with official, some of them, like the last delegation came with official private jets of the United States, government. So it seems that that is exact government delegation. But this delegation that came, that are, full of Democrats, that came to Abuja to tell the Nigerian government that they will talk to Washington to rule out possible military action in Nigeria. So people are trying to see whether this is an official delegation. So stay with me in this video. Let us understand what this U.S. Congressional delegation said in Abuja. This is Monday morning, the 22nd day of December 2025. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. I was watching the press briefing of the delegation, the United States delegation led by Congressman Bill Huizenga. The delegation also included Reps Michael Baumgartner, Kate Shreve, and Jefferson Shreve. So they said that the United States government are ruling out possible military action that was proposed in February 2026. They were seen defending the countries of particular concern, saying that Nigeria was designated as the country of particular concern because of religious killings and other violence from across the nation. And this has sparked a widespread mixed reactions. People were saying that the United States government has promised that they are coming to kill the terrorists. Ever since Donald J. Trump made this statement, a lot of Nigerians are reacting differently. People are happy because US promised to come and kill the terrorists. They said this is not the first time the United States is promising to come and kill terrorists. They have assisted Nigeria before. They have conducted some operations in Nigeria before. And all the operations they have conducted all have been successful. That if US is coming, saying they are coming to take out these terrorists, people believe in their capacity, people believe what they can do, and it has been a source of hope to so many people that the federal government of Nigeria colluding with the terrorists can never, solve the issue of insecurity. So relying on international intervention as usual was the case. Now, this delegation are bipartisan delegation. We hope that what they came, the press briefing they had in Abuja, their visit is, will be true. All these things are politics. So these people, almost all of them are Democrats. Now, this is not really more. We understand that United States government, through Donald J. Trump, delegated this issue of Nigeria situation to the, Randy Moore and his group, those who are coming to Nigeria to assess the situation before and so on and so forth. And they have been updating us on how they are going, their visitation to Nigeria, how they return, and how they briefed Trump last week here. So there are a lot of things that has been on follow-up. But this totally different delegation made up of Democrats that came to Nigeria. Actually, they came. Actually, I heard them saying that they are ruling out possible military action in Nigeria. That is to say, the troops in Nigeria, like ground troops. So that is what this man said yesterday, that the United States are ruling it out for the now. So maybe we are still going to hear from the person in charge, because Donald J. Trump actually gave someone this work to take charge of reporting to him, doing the investigation, and so on and so forth. So we'll be hoping to hear him from also the other part, because as I said, this congressional delegation, they are Democrats. Don't forget that when you talk of American government, something that I personally observe is that American government is totally two. Okay, like the Democrats have their own rules, their own principles, the way they do things, while the Republicans have their own way entirely. Don't forget that these Democrats under Barack Obama was the people who aided Boko Haram, who brought Buhari indirectly, and the activities is directly helping terrorists. When you hear that America will go to countries and destabilize the countries, it is this Democrats regime. Look at what they did in Libya and so on and so forth. So, but Republicans, I see them as a party that always, frown at terrorists. They don't want terrorists, like they go after the terrorists. And I see them like a party that makes more peace. You understand? Because, okay, let me even just talk about the first tenure of Donald J. Trump and the second tenure. It's all about making peace. Unlike Biden started Ukraine and Russia war. If Trump was the president, that war would never have, commenced for the first place, talk less of to stopping it. It is easy to start a war. It's not easy to end it. All right. I got this from this day newspaper. This day newspaper published this morning. It says U.S. rules out troop deployment in Nigeria as it defends CPC designation. So, as I said before, we are going to know more about these details, maybe from other opposite congressional delegation, rendezvous, and so on and so forth. But for now, let us believe what this delegation are saying. Whether they are official delegation, I don't know. Whether they are private delegation, I don't know. But let's see. As they said, they have ruled out troops on the ground. Now, this is how this day newspaper reported it. It says the United States has ruled out deploying troops to Nigeria, saying its decision to designate the country as a country of particular concern, CPC, is intended to encourage reforms through diplomatic pressure and partnership rather than military interventions alone. Members of a bipartisan U.S. Congressional delegation who visited Nigeria to assess security and religious freedom concerns said at a press conference in Abuja that while Nigeria needs support to tackle rising violence, Washington is considering not sending boots on the ground as part of its response. Washington is considering not sending troops on the ground as part of its response. So the United States is considering if this delegation is official delegation. No, they said that the U.S. is considering not sending troops on the ground. As I said before, the delegation was led by Rep. Huizenga and included Reps. Michael Baumgartner, Shreve, and Jefferson Shreve. He said, Nigeria does need help, but that does not mean that U.S. troops alone will be on the ground. Huizenga said the country of particular concern designation is a tool to motivate action, not a prelude to only military deployment. The lawmakers said the designation was driven by persistent violence affecting communities of all faiths, with a particular concern over Middle Belt, where they believe religious motivations play a role in the attacks. Middle Belt, we are talking about Benue and Plateau State. It is unacceptable that anyone, including the Muslims, the Christians, is experiencing the level of violence, a member of the delegation said. Protecting citizens of all faiths is a responsibility of Nigerian government. Don't forget that this is coming after the United States signed a memorandum of understanding that is giving $200 million to Christian clinics like Catholic hospitals, who will go and take care of Christians who are being persecuted in Plateau State and Benue State. Now, according to the delegation, the article continues, the country of particular concern designation has already sparked internal discussion within Nigerian government, which they describe as a development. They stress that the move is not intended to punish Nigerian citizens, but to encourage accountability reforms and stronger protections of religious freedom. The lawmakers distinguished between terrorism in the northeast, that is in Borno side, or those in the Chad area, linked to Boko Haram or other extremist group, and religiously motivated violence in the regions, noting that each challenge requires a different approach. So they are saying that like Boko Haram activities in the northeast is totally different from the terrorist activities in the Benue State and Plateau State. That those one in the northeast is extremists, while the people in the Middle Belt like Plateau Benue State is religiously motivated. I don't know the difference between extremist motivation and religious motivation. As far as I'm concerned, those extremists, Boko Haram is also a religious motivation. Okay, now it says there are different regional realities. One lawmaker said, what works in Borno State may not work in Plateau State or Benue State. Okay, the US officials emphasized that Nigeria's CPC status is not permanent and will be reviewed based on the progress that we made to reducing all this violence. That when the religious freedom improved, that they are going to review it. They rejected suggestions that the designation could damage bilateral relations, describing it instead as a difficult but constructive engagement between partners. True friends don't walk away, Huizenga said. They stay engaged even when the conversation is difficult. While rolling out possible troop deployment, the delegation expressed support for increased non-military engagement, including humanitarian assistance, diplomatic cooperation, and capacity building initiative described as putting shoes on the ground, not boots. The lawmaker said they would brief colleagues in Washington on the importance of Nigeria to Africa and global stability, warning that insecurity in Africa, most populous nation, carries far-reaching consequences. They reveal that sustained dialogue, transparency, and reform could pave way for a review of Nigerian CPC status and a stronger US-Nigeria partnership. Now, let me stop this article here. One thing I understand about this delegation that came to Nigeria is they are saying that they are promising Nigerian government that they are going to brief their colleague in Washington. I understand that these people did not come to Nigeria like official delegation. Now, this is what I mean, don't quote me wrong. You know, when all those delegations were coming to Nigeria before, they used to state it that Donald J. Trump has given us assignment to go to Nigeria to do this. But these people came to Nigeria, I believe, not through official delegation. Because I really check both all those committees and departments, both the appropriation, who are in charge of this issue and so on and so forth. None of them posted it, that these people are coming to Nigeria. Like, I say, what is going on? Wait a minute. Does it mean that these people just came to see, Tinubu's government? Don't forget that Nigeria gave money to these people to campaign for Kamala Harris. Don't get it twisted, okay? Nigeria gave money to these people to campaign for Kamala Harris. So that is why I said, maybe let us wait and see the real official, should I say gazetted information from these delegations like Rendemont and the Appropriation Committee and so on and so forth, because these are the committees that have been tweeting, writing, updating people about everything that has been going on. Anyway, as I said before, Nigeria is not sustainable because the insecurity in Nigeria is being perpetrated by politicians. There is no country where the politicians sponsor insecurity for their own reasons, for the reasons of what they want Nigeria to become. And you expect Nigeria to work again. No, I do not see a country that is progressional. This is retrogression. Every now and then things are getting worse. Okay, so I do not see a pathway to progress. I do not see a pathway to unity with all this instability, insecurity, killing your citizens, and so on and so forth. So this is my take about this.